Bronx Park East Community Association, and I want to really learn more about it and how we do this, how this system really works.
Hi, everyone. Nico Charles. Nice to see all of you. I also live in the Fordham area, the Bronx. I'm here representing Miss Abby's Kids, a nonprofit organization, youth development, that I'm currently building. I also sit on the board of Community Board 7, and I'm also a community activist and advocate. Essentially, my role here for participatory budgeting is to ignite the actual community back into the process of what they need and get them to be, engaged in that process and be voices to what it is that they need in order. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Will Francis. I'm a Community Board 7 member also. I don't live in the area. My councilman did not sign on, and I'm hoping to learn as much as I can so that I can persuade him to, in the next year, to sign on, and I'm here to help Councilman Torres and his staff in any way that I can to get this up and running, because I believe that we, as community members, having a chance to have a say-so in how the money in our community is spent is very important.
Hello, my name is Jason Garcia. I am the Center Director, located on Webster, the first and fourth section of the Bronx. I also live in the Tremont section of the Bronx. So I'm here to kind of just find ways to provide resources for the children in this community, whether it be for the organization or for other organizations, as long as it provides resources for the children and families of the community.
Hi, my name is Sheena Rudolph. I also work with the Department of Education and also a member of Public Housing. And I would like to see and be an advocate to see how we can get some resources for our kids, and we know that they are our future, and if we can help educate them regarding Common Core standard and put some resources out there, then that would be.
Hello, everyone. Hi. My name is Athena Rosa, and I represent Project Evelyn. It's a pending not-for-profit status. We are actually located in District 14. My council person also did not choose to participate. However, I wish to learn the process, find out the intricacies of how we can utilize this to benefit our communities and serve them better. I also wish to acknowledge the fact that more council people need to do this. For whatever reason they chose not to, if we can make this a success, maybe all of them can do it next time around. So that's me.
Hi, my name is David Rose. I work with Automotive Realty Corp. We're commercial real estate located in this district, and I'm also the chairperson of the Fordham Road Business Improvement District. My interest is to see, the community get what it needs, because community and business, work with each other, It's good for the community, it's good for business, and vice versa. And, I do spend at least 50 or 60 hours a week in the Bronx. I don't reside in the Bronx, but I spend about 50 or 60 hours working in the Bronx. And I like to see,
Also in the district, too.
In the district. I like to see, the quality of life improve for the residents, and see the money go where it's most needed.
My name is Diana Finch, and I live in the Helen Parkway, Bronx Park East area, and I'm a member of the Bronx Park East Community Association. And I like that Richie Torres is our council person, but I don't like the way our district has all these areas that are not contiguous, and I think it's going to make it hard to apportion this money. And I think that the botanical gardens in particular, and also the zoo, should be brought into the community a lot. They should have a much better relationship with the surrounding community than they do.
My name is Raphael Schweitzer. I'm chair of Bronx Park East Community Association. I've been a resident my whole life.
City Hall. I'm Pat Flanagan. I'm becoming a member of Bronx Park East Neighborhood Association. And ever since I got this at the first 4, what do you call it, neighborhood, and I found out the disparity. It's an incredible layout of land, this council district. It's spread far and wide. But ever since I got this socioeconomic sheet, I feel myself a self-empowered advocate for single mothers. And that's enough for right now. But this speaks to me about the great need that single mothers have.
I'm Harv Bowman from Mount Hunt Community. I represent Jump Ministries. And we are here to do all we can to help our community. Thank you.
I think our particular area of interest is particular. There's a lot of unnecessary violence and that needs to be addressed.
My name is Bill Boss. I live on East Tremont Avenue. I had been involved with other districts that had done participatory budgeting in the previous years. Looking forward to today, when we finally have it here in our district. And so after a couple of years of working in other people's neighborhoods, it feels good to be doing it where I live finally. And thank the councilman for agreeing before he had even taken an office to do PB, because as I understand how some of the other people who've spoken feel, who say that they live in districts that currently are not involved with PB, I know I feel to be sitting on the other side and watching what's happening. But this has been a growing thing, and I'm sure that Juan is explaining how it went from 3 to now it's going to be 22 this year, and hopefully wherever you are, we will bring it in. But and thank you for coming to help in our neighborhood on the PV project. But the way to get it happening in your neighborhood is to lean on your council person, and if they don't respond, they're up for re-election in 2 or 3 years. So.
Hi, good evening. My name is Joe Muriana. I'm happy to welcome you here to Fordham. I'm here at Fordham University. We're happy to host this inaugural meeting tonight. And hopefully this will be a successful landlord initiative for the district and actually provide more of a way for people to participate in crafting priorities for the city budget. I'm like yourself, I'm a lifelong New Yorker, but I've only lived in the Bronx 40 years. My wife's lived in the Bronx her whole life. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. So, before we begin, and I want to go through, so this rule book, this is a participatory budget in New York City 2014-2015 rule book. This is going to act as
The signature sheet.
this handbook is
serve as sort of our guide and if you will, our Bible going through the process. This was developed by PVNYC, who's the organization that has been providing technical support throughout the city for this process since 2010. The rules and recommendations here come from experience, what worked and what didn't work throughout the city in different districts. As you know, now we're going to grow. Another 13 council members are going to be participating in this. Everyone here, as far as district committee, you should have this. If you need one, I can also email it to you as well. To know this inside out, because I can't be the only one remembering all the technicalities and bringing all that technical information. This is why we need this planning committee to help make sure we're doing this process as engaging, as inclusive, and as democratic as possible. So, some of the big things to know is from the rule book, some of the changes that came out. Our neighborhood assemblies, we're going to have at least 4 big neighborhood assemblies throughout the district. That's one of the reasons why I have the map up there. We're going to decide where to do them at. And we also have an option, because neighborhood assemblies just serve as idea collection, right? So one of the things that we came up with and that we want to do is mobile idea collections, right? And a flexible idea collection events. So instead of just getting ideas from people at neighborhood assemblies, we're going to have those 4 or 5 big meetings of our 100 people each. This is what we need to plan. I also want to go to places where folks won't necessarily be able to come out to participate and give ideas. So we'll go to a senior center, we'll go to a school, we'll go to a PTA meeting, we'll go to wherever we think that there's going to be a fixed group of like 15 or 20 more people that can just give some ideas. The other thing that we're going to tinker with is setting up shop outside of the subway station and allowing people to come in, get a 10-15 minute intro on what PB is, and then fill out an idea sheet. So we have more to play with and more to be innovative with when we later down the road when we develop the ballot of what people are going to vote. The timeline. So our neighborhood assemblies should start at the end of this month, beginning of October, right? But we can start smaller. Idea is something we're going to decide at this meeting of when and where we do these neighborhood assemblies or mobile idea collections. The latest we should have idea brainstorming should be the end of October. That's when we'll go into the timeline of budget delegate phase, and we start to shape the project and see how much they actually cost, which ones are feasible, which ones are legal. The other thing is, for voting and the rule book, what they feel is more successful, and what the citywide steering committee feels is more efficient, is having at least 6 voting locations throughout the district, with at least 2 of them being mobile. It can either be a mobile van, or it can just be setting up a table outside of a transportation hub. So I just want to go through the rule book really quick. So what is participatory budgeting? Everybody here went through an info session, so we have some of these main. I want you to go to the timeline phase.
Which thing are you reading?
The rule book has the timeline. So we've been doing a lot of planning process. Our thing is pushed up a bit. We're going to be beginning our idea collections end of September through October. November through January, February, we're going to be building those proposals and developing the proposals. March March through April, we're gonna do project expos. So we're gonna go throughout the district and do science fair, like events where people can see what the projects are. And then in May, at the beginning of April, we'll do voting, a week of voting where people can vote if they're 16 or older and just reside in the district. Those are the only requirements to be able to vote. Feel free to look through this during your own time, and as we go forward, this is going to be the rule book that we're going to be using. But I want to go through the district committee roles and structure. There's a district committee guide I gave everyone. Yeah. So, district committee guide part 1. Just want to go over the roles and responsibilities of everyone in this room. After we go through the roles and responsibilities, I want to do a little brainstorming if anyone feels like we need to expand or reach out to other folks from around the district to bring in, if we feel like there's a need for any other representation in the district. So the roles and responsibilities. Can I get a volunteer to read out the roles and responsibilities?
I'll read it.
Please.
Of the district committee, that one?
Yes.
Okay. Roles and responsibility of the district committee. The district committee helps ground the PB process locally and is responsible for implementing the process together with the council member's office. This includes planning and carrying out the neighborhood assemblies, project expos, and voting events. The district committee can help council member staff decide the number, locations, and dates of assemblies, expos, and voting events, and help arrange for food, childcare, and translation. Members also staff these events as small group facilitators, presenters, or poll workers. B, developing and implementing an outreach plan. With its deep local knowledge and networks, the district committee can help identify target populations and outreach strategies to mobilize broad, inclusive participation. It can also take leadership in implementing outreach efforts. C, guiding and supporting the process. By developing leadership skills and deep knowledge of PB, district committee members may be good candidates to serve as facilitators at assemblies and/or for the delegate committees. They can also provide a guidance and background information to delegates, help resolve conflicts, and serve as intermediaries between delegates and council member staff. District committees may also serve as spokespeople for citywide and local media, monitor project implementation, help evaluate the PB process, and revise rules to the PB process.
Thank you. Is everyone here okay with those roles and responsibilities and feel like you will be able to participate? The amount of meetings we're going to have are going to be at least 1 to 2 a month, and especially in the beginning, just to make sure that everything's moving along and getting really focused. And your tenure as a district committee member will be from now until May of 2015.
I'm good with the commitment that was read off for what we need to do. However, I have a question regarding the job coming up, having done it before in other areas, and also experience with the committee. How many Spanish speakers do we have? Because we are going to need.
Yeah. So that's
to reach
so
out.
that is something that we're going to have to decide. That's not the question I asked right now. That is one of the things that we're going to have to figure out as part of the outreach working group. Is we're going to have to be cognizant of how many Spanish speakers we have. That is not something that we're deciding right now or figuring out right now. But that is something that
If we don't have them, we're going to need.
I agree with you. here, and let's just take a show of hands. We want to do this as democratically as possible. Is everyone here okay with those roles and responsibilities and want to continue their commitment as a district committee member?
I got a question.
Yes.
I feel that there should be far more people than us here. And I feel that it should be a broader representation than where we're coming from. I think it should be more a representation according to the socioeconomic profile we have.
So just to that, that is one of the things that we are going to discuss on the neighborhood center. How we outreach to making sure that we communicate and engage those constituencies that you're talking about.
Yeah.
But the sad thing is, the fact of the matter, the people who are organized and who are into civic engagement are those who are around the table. I wish there was more representation from the communities that need it the most, but we have to work with what we have right now. And if we spent our time trying to build up that representation within the district committee, it would take a whole other long process. So we have to work with what we have here, and we do have sort of an equitable district distribution. How many people are here from CB11? Right? Community Board 11. So we have 5 people from Community Board 11. How many people do we have from Community Board 5? Right, we have 5. How many people do we have from Community Board 6? Right, so Community Board 6 makes up the largest portion of the district. So we have to, that's a need that we have to fill up, right? So if anyone can think of other folks that we should invite to the next district committee meeting for Community Board 6, people who are, civically engaged, can help organize, mobilize, and spread the word, that's something we should do. Next, who do we have here from Community Board 7? Same thing, Community Board 7 takes up a big chunk. We should have at least 1 or 2 more people from Community Board 7. And then to another degree, how many people do we have from Community Board 4? None. Well, the Bowmans sort of have part, they're on the borderline of 4. They do service Community Board 4 as well. 3, we have none here in the district committee. We have nobody from Community Board 4, and do we have anybody from Community Board 12?
Community Board 12 is only really a 5-block area of the council.
No, we have about 16 blocks.
It's north of AD.
North of AD, but we go as far as Rosewood and Wallace. So
But it is a relatively small area.
It is relatively small, but those are still about 30,000, 40,000 people that we should engage. Just because they're a small area doesn't mean we ignore them.
Right. Right. Well,
because I walk that area a lot, and it's really not a very big part of it.
but it's still part of the district. Well, I can reach out to somebody in CB12.
This is AB right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15 blocks. And you also have really big buildings such as 3,000 Bronx Marquis. You have a lot of those co-ops around Oak Ave. Needless to say, we need to figure out if we're not representative of those areas here in the district committee, we have to be cognizant of how we engage those areas in the neighborhood assembly, in the idea generating portion of PV and in the voting portion. So that's the here then.
Also, and once again, this is having worked on PV campaigns in areas when they've done it a few times already versus where it's being introduced. The material that we have is I believe what all the districts that are doing PB are getting this same material, right?
Yeah, more.
Okay. We are in a unique position because this is our first year. So for most people in District 15, just explaining that what PB is, forget even getting to that, is going to be the biggest thing. So in the process of reaching out to the community, as Juan was saying, to explain, here's what PB, you have a chance to participate, et cetera, et cetera. While we are doing that portion, which is going to be a huge, you know, each year that will become less and less of a thing, but it's going to be a majority of what we're doing, and that's how you're going to be bringing in the people, the portions of the community that do not see sit at the table now. That is how you're going to be drawing them in, because we have to do that anyways.
And just, so also I want to be mindful and respectful of people's time, so we do have a lot of work that we have to decide and get through. So the areas of like whether or not we're representatives here, that's part of the work that we have to decide. So if we can just push through these portions of the agenda, that would be